Hello and good evening. Today it is Friday, August 6th, 2021. And as you can see here, notice that the color of the numbers on the back of this Avalanche jersey are blue with burgundy trim, and the player lettering on Buyalski's name is actually in burgundy. It's a bit hard to see, so I'm going to see if I can't zoom it in for you. But yeah, notice how it is burgundy. If you can't tell whether it's burgundy or black, I apologize. But it looks like the Colorado Avalanche have decided to make a change to their away jersey for the upcoming 2021-22 NHL season. So in this video today, I will be sharing my thoughts on this. So first off, before I get into the video any further, I want to make sure I take a moment to thank Windy City Hockey for showing me this photo. I really appreciate it, Nick, and if you are a Blackhawks fan, make sure you go subscribe to him. He's got a great channel. Anyways, this photo here was taken from the recent NHL draft, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong. But notice that the numbers are blue with burgundy trim on the back of this jersey, and the player's name is in burgundy lettering. So here's what's happened last season. So this was their look at the start of the Adidas era, which I have never had any issues with their home uniform in the Adidas era until they switched to blue equipment, because it actually is a pretty decently balanced uniform. It's a modern style that has good, in my opinion at least, decent color balance. As for their away jersey, even though I think their home uniform is way better, and I'm talking the pre-blue equipment era of these uniforms, than this one was still decent, especially compared to those awful Reebok Edge era uniforms that the Avs wore for the entirety of the Reebok era for some stupid, inconceivable reason. But here's the thing about the jersey. The jersey suited the black equipment a lot better. It had the black numbers and player lettering on the back, the black pants, and black gloves. Now, it's too bad there wasn't at least a little bit of black accenting maybe on the jersey itself, but even without it, this design was fine. And also the black on the shoulder patch as well. There was some decent balance here. The black numbers and lettering on the back of the jersey actually worked here, and it worked decently. But then fast forward to this past season, and the Colorado Avalanche, for their 25th anniversary in Colorado, decided to drop a bomb. For the first time ever, they decided to scrap the black equipment they've had since day one, and they randomly switched to blue equipment. Now, you see it here on the away jersey. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'll go back to the original Adidas home uniform the Avalanche had before the blue equipment last season. And as I said earlier, it looks great. But then they switched to the blue equipment, and even though I wasn't sold on it at first, I'm okay with it now. But here's the problem. I don't like the blue equipment still. I've gotten to a point where I find that it's not terrible with this uniform, but it's still not great. I understand what Colorado was trying to do. They were trying to better color. I guess what they were trying to do is they were trying to remove black from the black equipment, thinking that the blue equipment would tie into their uniforms a little bit better. See, this with the blue equipment, it's okay. I've gotten used to it to the point where I can accept it, but to me, it's never going to beat the black equipment. You're not going to change my mind on this. I feel that the black equipment tied into this uniform so well. Whereas now you've got the blue on the bottom of the jersey and then blue pants, and there's just too much blue now. And I feel that even though the black was kind of, even though what I meant to say is, even though there's no actual black accenting on the jersey design itself, the black gloves, helmets, and pants really did a great job of breaking up the burgundy and the blue, especially the blue here, where it's blue. There's just too much blue in my opinion, because they use such an unconventional waist striping pattern with the mountain range striping. So this black equipment served a really great purpose in that regard, in my opinion. So even though the blue equipment, it's to a point where I can live with it with their home uniform, even though if I had my way, it would be gone and go back to the black equipment. Because the blue, having it being strictly burgundy and blue does work in theory, but I feel the black is far better because it breaks it up. But then you look at their new updated away uniform with the blue equipment. What do you notice about the jersey? The jersey is basically very lacking in blue. The logo's got blue and the back of the collar is blue. You got a little bit of blue trim on the numbers, but there's not enough blue on the actual jersey for this to work. So what the Colorado Avalanche have now decided to do, and why don't I pull up one more photo? There's the black equipment again. Even here, I feel the black complements the burgundy so much better than the blue. But now here's a photo of the back of the jersey from this past season. The socks and the pants, they work together. But then you've got a jersey that's basically got no blue on it at all. So the black lettering, the black numbers, and the silver trim you can't even see unless you see it up close. The equipment looks totally random. I still think it was a terrible choice by the Avalanche, in my opinion. Even though the home uniform does look a lot better with the blue equipment than the away uniform has so far. Even though I'm still not a fan of the blue equipment on either uniform, especially the away uniform. Look at how random it looks compared to the jersey. But now you see that the Avalanche have decided to tweak the away jersey so that the lettering is burgundy and the numbers are now blue with burgundy trim. Now, do I think that's going to help when we see blue numbers here to better tie in with the blue equipment? It's not going to hurt. But here's the problem. To me, I just feel that it's not going to work. Is it better than the black if they're going to keep the blue equipment, which obviously they are? In my opinion, yeah. It'll do a better job of tying it in. But here's the problem. I think that when they went back to these uniforms, they should have just gone back to the originals. Where here before, the original uniform design, which this is actually based off of, obviously, had blue accenting on the jersey itself. That is what the Avalanche needed to do. And I feel that this was actually kind of a lazy move on their part to put blue numbers on the back of their jersey. It's a very safe choice. And it will do a better job of helping this jersey complement the new blue equipment. There's no doubt on that. But here's what pisses me off. I just feel that they did this as a quick, lazy job rather than fixing the main issue, the lack of blue accenting on the jersey. But in my opinion, personally, what I think all they needed to do was bring back the original design with the extra blue, with the blue accenting, and the original numbers with the extra blue and silver accenting around them, and glacier twill. And that's, in my opinion, all Colorado should have done if they wanted to go back to their original look. But here's another problem. Even though I like that they've made an effort to at least do something to address the color balance issue with the new equipment, you're still going to have this at the front of the uniform with a jersey that's basically void, is very sparse, or the amount of blue is very scarce on the jersey, except for the logo and the numbers. The back will look better, but the front will still have this issue. This is what it's going to still look like on the front, minus that 25th anniversary patch. Now the home uniform, yeah, I mean, with the blue equipment, I can live with it. But still, I honestly believe it's too much blue. I'm still on the black equipment bandwagon, because honestly, to me, it doesn't work. Okay, I'll throw in this extra image here too. But you see what I mean? Look at how much blue there is there. And let's see, maybe I'll find another photo here maybe another photo that's a little bit better at showing what I'm trying to convey here, or the point I'm trying to make. Okay, I apologize for the brief delay, you guys. I just want to make sure I find a decent photo to the best of my ability. But okay, here, I'll pull this one up. This one actually works. All right. But yeah, you see what I mean? Look at how much blue there is on this uniform now. It looks okay. But you compare this photo here to this, the color balance is so much better. But honestly, guys, I'm not going to lie. I've always been of the belief that the Colorado Avalanche jerseys and uniforms, I know a lot of people like them, but I've never been fully sold on them. To me, this looks like a great third jersey more than a primary uniform. And I know that's a very, very very minority opinion. Or I'm sure I'm part of a very small minority that feel that way. That's a real hot take coming from me. But I feel the Avalanche jerseys and uniforms have always been overrated. The originals, I mean. Are these the best that they've ever had? Is this design the best they've ever had as the Avalanche? Absolutely. But I still want to one day see them go in a more traditional route with their uniforms. I think that would be amazing if they did. I'm not saying to go to that Colorado Rockies inspired modern logo. I'm not a fan of it, but I mean to keep this logo and go with a more traditional design. I know it wouldn't be as unique, but I do think it would be better. But this, to me, as a home uniform, it works. It does look decent. It did until I switched to this. It's okay. But I'm a little baffled at why they've had to make this change. I think it was a mistake. And then the blue equipment. Even though I do want to give a tip of the cap to the Avalanche for at least making an effort to do something to help address the problem, I feel this was a lazy attempt to fix the real issue. That's their jersey. And personally, what they should have done here is they should have redone the jersey just enough to add the original blue accenting that the original white jersey the Avalanche had, or the Avalanche had originally. And then that with the black equipment and the original number and lettering font with the glacier twill and the extra blue outline would look a lot better than this even. And that's coming from somebody who thinks the Avalanche jerseys are overrated, which I know a lot of you will disagree. I guarantee it. Even though I must say the Avalanche jerseys aren't the worst, but they have grown on me to a point where I think they're not the worst uniforms in hockey, but they're definitely not the greatest either, in my opinion. And the blue equipment, in my opinion, makes it worse. But see what I mean? This is definitely an improvement with the new equipment, but you're still going to have this color balance issue from the front of the uniform. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. I'm going to go back to the best look in Avalanche history. If they left this design as their home uniform with the black equipment, I would be satisfied. But with the blue equipment, I'd rather they just get new uniforms entirely. Not going to lie. But anyways, at that point, I'm going to call it a wrap on this video. Leave your thoughts down below. I'd be curious to hear other people's thoughts on what I've mentioned and discussed in this video today. And until my next video, you guys, as always, take care. And as per usual, folks, bye for now.